The Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show. Here we go.
Let's jump on over to something a little more complex, and we're gonna go over to the Texas A&M Aggies with Jimbo Fisher right here. 13th year coaching, 5th year right here at Texas A&M. His career record's 117-37. Right here at Texas A&M, he's 34-14. He has offensive coordinator Daryl Dickey, and he brings in defensive coordinator DJ Durkin. We talked about that guy a little earlier. So he's making some moves here. I talk about 3rd year, 4th year coaches. This 5th year it can be a little difficult, or it can be a dream come true. So maybe he's figured out exactly what he needs in the spots where he need it, and he's going to go from there. But the returners this year, he didn't plan it out as well as he should have because he's kind of exhausted on returners. He has 9 total starters on the offense and defense, and his track record of his recruiting is really good as well. So we expect him to figure his way out of this one. But last season, it was an 8-4 season. He went 4-4 in conference. The offense did about 29 points a game. They were rushed for 183 yards per game and passed for a total of 208 yards per game. And the defense was pretty good. They only allowed 15.9 points a game. They allowed teams to rush about 134 yards a game, and they gave up 327 in the air, which is impressive considering that they still hold teams down to 15.9 points a game. So I don't know what the chemistry was over there on defense, but it saved their tails in a lot of games. But and the last year's win over Alabama was impressive. Loss to Ole Miss was kind of saddening. The 8-4 season and the 4-4 conference record speaks for itself at this point about last year's team. So moving into this year, what do you feel about the offense over here? And I'll do the defense this time, Big Ragoo.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so offensively, they've always been always waiting for that quarterback that's going to break through for them. Kelly Mond was a nice quarterback and prior. So, this, like you said, is his 5th year. And Haynes King got hurt in the 2nd game of the season, so that kind of hurt him a little bit. That dinged him up. And like you said, they put it on the backs of their defense last year to kind of eke out some wins. But this year they got Max Johnson transferred from LSU, and Connor Wigman is a freshman. So I don't know too much about him, but I know Johnson was like the heir apparent for Joe over there at LSU, Joe Burrows. He was the next up quarterback, and so he made the jump over from there. With your guy taking the reins over at LSU, Kelly, he's going to run a different ship over there. But I think they got some pretty good freshmen. I think they need some more big plays in the passing game. This kid Devin Akinyi, he's supposed to be their next big running back. So they got 3 starters up front, on the offensive line returning. That's a positive, even though they're kind of thin all the way around. But they got 3 guys on the front line that should give them a pretty good foundation up front. And I think they just need to make some bigger plays down the field. The quarterback has always been the key position for them that they've struggled with. And they had the number 1 recruiting class this year, but whether that pays dividends for them offensively remains another story. But I see them a strong number 2, to Bama. Mm-hmm. And just how their offense comes out of the gate, and whether they kind of put things together early in the season, because it goes sideways pretty quick. You'll get the easy opening games, then in conference, like you said, it was indicative of how they played offensively with their record in the SEC last year. So, and then defensively, that's where I'm gonna let you take it over.
Well, on the defensive side, I think we get a really different picture this year. So this year, I may be expecting them to score more points on the offensive side because the defensive side is a little bit shot over here. The defensive line, this unit had to replace all 4 starters. This could be a big problem, but therefore they bring in a little talent and depth. They got some recruits now, so anything is possible. But they kind of exhausted at that position, so they're going to be relying for new players to step up, which is what college football is all about. So you can never really count it out. So don't get us wrong in these previews. We're not counting these out. We're just basically saying there's areas that you should monitor, and then there's areas that just look bad overall. But in the linebacker spot, the number 4 tackle, Edwin Cooper, will be the only returner on this group right here. They will rely on some new talent, including with some depth. But the depth may be an issue in this one because they're not as stacked as they should be at linebacker. And the defensive back, that's going to be the best unit for them. They returned 3 from last year. They moved over a linebacker to the safety position. In addition, they returned 2 players from injury as well. But I'm kind of difficult about injury. Like you never know what you're going to get out that. You can't really count on I'm going to get this plus player back. But some players do respond good from injury, but some players never get their feet back on the road after injury. So they're going to be doing good with have a little depth over there. This is going to be their strongest unit on defense right here. But overall, we're going to be looking at maybe a flip-flop. Maybe they're going to be giving up more points on the defensive side of the ball, but they'll probably be able to get out there and get more points on the offensive side this year. So I don't know. I think we're probably going to end up with about the same thing out of this team next year. Maybe 8-4, 4-4 conference. And, I don't know. Maybe his seat gets a little hot after that.
Yeah, I see Dabby Cabs in the chat. Nick, shout out to those guys showing up today. Yeah, Dabby was thinking that the biggest question is the D-line. He says the D-backs are pretty good. So we shall see what happens. They're going to be well coached. And we talked about DJ Durkin. I know you talk about defense, but he signed on with them, and he's a guy that's pretty apt up to the task in a lot of areas. He's been around the SEC a bit. He coached out of under Whittingham, started at Notre Dame, and then he had a little stint up in Maryland as a head coach. Unfortunate what happened up there, but he's been in the SEC, he knows it, and I think he's going to be a solid pickup for them for the coach on the sideline.
Yeah, he's going to be a great pickup. I just think that maybe it's not going to be this year though. You gotta have that. You gotta have that camaraderie. You gotta have the team bought into the program, into what you're doing as a coach. And a lot of times when you got too many moving pieces, especially nowadays, because the kids always got an out, they can go transfer or whatever. So you don't want to have too many moving parts. You want to have everything all glued in. One band, one sound when it comes to playing football. But that's it for Texas A&M. Let's move on to a more interesting one.